This is Andi Purewal, Boxing Social in association with Betfred. Last but not least, Eddie Hearn. I'm joined by Eddie. 3 minutes. I mean, we'll try to stick to 3 minutes.
No, I know what you're like. You're so slippery, Purewal. You go, yeah, you go ahead, you go get it, and then you think you're going to get extra time from me from going last. So I will wrap this interview up when I've got to go because I've got.
Okay, but Eddie, on that note, then, but I also know that you kind of like string things along for the first 2 minutes, so I can't get a question out of you.
Okay, what like I'm doing now?
Yeah, exactly.
So now you've only got a minute and 20 seconds left. Crack on.
I mean, your maths isn't very good there. Eddie, obviously, just went straight into Buatsi-Richards' press conference today. I've seen people kind of questioning what the attendance will be for Saturday night. What do you actually expect it to be around?
Isn't it a mad world that we live in where you're saying that people are questioning the attendance? Mad. The attendance will be about 5,000. I would have liked to have done 1,000 or two more, but it's a very solid gate for a domestic fight. I don't know how many they sold for Yard against what's his name? Lyndon Arthur. I mean, probably less, but like whatever. But yeah, I don't. If people are really concerned,
I think people are questioning it because I've seen again people saying that if maybe had the Sky backing that platform, it might have been kind of in public eye a bit more.
What tickets are they selling for fights? Like at normal fight nights, like Avanesian and whatever, done about 400 tickets. That's a BT show. Yeah. But anyway, no. I mean, would Sky's backing of this event sold any more tickets? No.
From a promotional standpoint?
No. We are the promoters, you know, and that's a decent number. You've also got to remember, Andy, they've just done 90,000 for Fury against Dillian White. How long ago was that? A month ago? Something like that? April 30th or 23rd? If you've bought a ticket for that, you're not buying necessarily a ticket 2 or 3 weeks later. It was an expensive show. So, I don't know. I would like to have always done more tickets, but it'd be a good crowd. More than we did for a Cody Sislak.
Just on kind of the Sky front, I know people have asked you about that today, Eddie, and I'm curious, you know, I asked you about Ben Whittaker previously, you've just been asked about him then. Why do you feel it is that maybe Sky have backed Ben Shalom a little bit more than what they might have offered to you when you was making your mind up?
Because it's now about ego. We left, they've gone all in. So it's good, it's competitive, it's great for fighters. But they're back in boxing more now than they ever did. And it's because I left and they didn't want to down tools. And it's great. And we'll see how long, you know, this is a long-term, and when I say it's a long-term fight, it's not dislike for Sky. They're a great partner of ours. It's friendly competition. But there's a lot happening. And it's going to be a long ride and a fun ride. And competition is good for everybody, especially some of these fighters that are benefiting. Our fighters, these amateurs that are turning pro, are mental. Good luck to them. Go and buy your house and everything. It's a tough game. But this is with what are we now, 9 months in to the zone shows, been a huge success. And coming off the back of 2 epic fight nights in America. And some interesting things going down.
There's a little glee in your eye there, Eddie.
You know what I'm like, Andy. What do you think I'm doing every day? I'm working on massive things. And that's it. I've got a big mouth. So,
just one more on that front. If, say, Sky had come to you and proposed more of kind of a financial backing as what we're seeing now, would that have made it a more difficult proposition to have left them to go with DAZN?
It's not just the money, it's the ability to become the biggest global promotion in the world, well, the only global promoter. Where can I get 10, 12 shows in America for that budget? Where can I get 6 shows in Australia, 6 shows in Italy, in Spain, in Mexico? Do you understand how big this deal is? It changed the face of our business. It changed the face of a lot of things for us. And we believe in the platform. And if you look at the success of the Canelo pay-per-view last week, the numbers now in DAZN for US subscribers are in an unbelievable position. And again, we'll see what happens in the UK.
A few other topics to touch on, Eddie. Derek Chisora, you never gave me an opponent yesterday, but I've seen a lot of people suggesting it's Adam Kaunaki.
Because he posted the contract. That's why, yeah. Kanaki's not signed yet, but he's one of the fighters that we're dealing with. But that was certainly Chisora's end of his promotional deal with Matchroom, securing that fight for July. So
likelihood is it will be Kaunaki?
If he signs. I would love him to sign because I think it's a brilliant fight. You saw the Polish in attendance for the Sislak fight, and there'll be double that in for Kaunaki because he's a huge draw.
What's going to be the plan with Filip Hrgovic trying to get back into that IBF?
He's going to fight Zhang. Yeah, he's going to fight Zhang. We're rescheduling that fight. That could land on the AJ card. We're working on that at the moment.
I know obviously we spoke about the AJ update yesterday, but I was just interested, Eddie, away from obviously we're seeing what's going on between Russia and Ukraine currently. When you're just looking at it from a fight perspective and making it, has Alexander changed any of his demands as to what he would like?
Nothing at all. No, exactly what's in the contract.
That's fair enough. Moving forward, then I thought you'd say it.
No. Well, no.
I don't know, it's just obviously one of the biggest things being the financial aspect. People talking about the Middle East. Was that something which Alexander was keen on instead of seeing it take place in, say, the Spursy Stadium or Wembley?
Yes, because he's on a financial split. So he would like to make as much money as possible.
What is AJ more comfortable with, or what would he have been more comfortable
with? Would love to do it in London with home support, but unfortunately when it's a 50-50 split, contractually you can't take an offer that's 3 times less than a neutral venue, for example. So,
if AJ loses, can the Fury fight still happen?
Yes, I think it'll always be there. It'll always be a great fight. And if AJ, I mean, right now, have you seen the pound for pound list? Alexander Usyk is number 1. So AJ lost to the pound for pound number 1 in the sport. If he loses again to the pound for pound number 1, I mean, but I don't believe he will. I believe he can win. And if he wins, make sure you stick AJ as pound for pound number 1.
Just off the pound for pound list, but on list, Dillian White dropped to 7 on the WBC rankings. What are your thoughts on that?
So, I mean, could have dropped to 3 or 4. Doesn't really matter, to be honest with you, at that stage. Whether you're 4, 5, 7, there's no mandatory due for a long time, so I don't think it really matters. What was a surprise was where Canelo Alvarez drops on Ring Magazine and ESPN rankings. So you step up outside of your weight division, box Dimitri Bivol, and go from the clear pound for pound number 1 to 7 or something. Madness.
Bill Haney hasn't flown out with Devin. Just want to get your thoughts on that. And he says he's got Yoel Judah who will be cornering him.
Yeah, we was supporting Bill to help him get out. You know, I wrote him a reference because he's a good individual and he's a big part of the team. But it's a blow. But Devin's got a good head on his shoulders, and it's a big disadvantage for him not having certain people there. But he's also got the bit between his teeth, and I'm sure he can still do the business.
Jaime Munguia and Jimmy Kelly, your thoughts at it?
I think it's a poor fight, to be honest with you. I mean, look, it sits on the DAZN platform, but I'm not going to lie to you. I think it's a very poor fight because I think Jaime Munguia is a great fighter. I think he's an all-action fighter, and Jimmy Kelly will give it everything. And by the way, some people don't realise Jimmy Kelly's coming off a really good win. But I would like to see, a bigger fight for Jaime Munguia.
Amir Khan retiring?
Yep, great career. I hope he lives a great life and gave a huge amount to British boxing. Big respect to him.
Spoke to Dean White earlier. He said he'd be up for facing you and the winner facing Jake Paul. There's been some kind of back and forth. I don't know, I wouldn't say back and forth, but he's had some comments recently in the media, Dean, towards you.
Oh, is he? I've not even heard them. What did he say?
I'm not going to start going back over it, but yeah, he wasn't happy with a few things around the Dillian White.
I don't know what he couldn't have been happy around. I wasn't even involved. I wasn't asked to be involved. So, but I'm definitely not fighting Dean White.
Final thing, Eddie. Darren Barker's birthday today.
Yes,
you got a birthday message?
640. Dazzling's a legend. My first official signing, really, after Audley Harrison and where it all started for us. And one of my proudest moments, seeing him beat Daniel Gill in Atlantic City. I can't believe he's 40. I mean, I look back, I posted a picture earlier of me and him, like we look like a couple of 15-year-olds, and it's amazing how time flies, but Darren is a massive part of Matchroom, will always be a big part of Matchroom, great part of our Matchroom Media talent team as well, and hope he has a fantastic day.
What have you got him for his birthday?
Nah, nothing. It's all right, just another 2-year extension.
Cheers, Eddie.
All right, cheers.